There's something eerie about watching your future burn in real time, especially when everyone around you is too drunk, too happy, or too oblivious to smell the smoke. The party was at Paige's sister's place, a huge backyard, string lights, rented bar, open guest list. It was supposed to be our last big get-together before the wedding. A joint celebration, as her sister called it. Girls in sundresses, guys in polos, a lot of cheap champagne. Everyone pretending like life was a rom-com. It had been Paige's idea to make it co-ed, something about being modern and inclusive. I didn't care either way. I just wanted the night to be over so I could get back to what really mattered, the future we were building. Or what I thought we were building. I should have noticed how tense she was. She kept checking her phone, adjusting her dress, laughing a little too loud. But I chalked it up to nerves. Weddings are stressful. So is pretending. Then he walked in. At first, I didn't recognize him. It had been years. He looked different, leaner, more polished, wearing black slacks and a fitted shirt that screamed, paid entertainer. He carried himself like someone used to being watched. And every woman at that party was watching him. Even Paige. Especially Paige. When our eyes met, there was this flicker, something like shock, followed by awkward recognition. His name tumbled out of my mouth before I could stop it. Austin. His face dropped. He wasn't there as a guest. He was the stripper Paige's friends had hired, as a joke, a bachelorette stunt to spice up the night. The twist? He didn't know the bride-to-be was engaged to me. And I didn't know the man dancing on my fiancée last weekend was my old college roommate. I didn't say anything that night. I watched the performance unfold like I wasn't part of it. Paige was front and center, sitting on a folding chair while Austin danced around her, shirtless, laughing, smug. She played it up for her friends, covering her face and pretending to be embarrassed while she soaked in every second of attention. She didn't recognize Austin, or if she did, she didn't let it show. Either way, I kept my mouth shut. I left the party early, claiming a headache. That night, Austin messaged me. "Bro. We need to talk." We met the next morning at a diner on the edge of town. I got there early and sat in a booth by the window. I was calm. Too calm. When he walked in, he didn't even order coffee. Just slid into the booth and looked me dead in the eyes. I didn't know it was her, man. Not until halfway through. He looked haunted. Genuinely sick. She didn't say your name. Didn't say she was engaged. But I knew something was off. She kept looking over her shoulder. Then she started asking weird questions, like what I did before dancing, where I was from. That's when it clicked. I stared at him. He kept talking. It was at that lake house gig. Her bachelorette weekend, I think. 2 weekends ago. She was into it. Way too into it. She invited me back to her room. I thought it was just another hookup. She even said she was single. He paused, then added quietly. She lied. To me. To you. I clenched my jaw but didn't respond. There wasn't anything to say that would make the sting less real. Austin shook his head, clearly ashamed. I wouldn't have touched her if I knew, man. I swear. You were my boy. We were brothers. I believed him. He wasn't the enemy. Not anymore. Paige was. And from that moment on, I started planning the one thing I had never considered before. Revenge. I didn't confront her right away. That was the hardest part, pretending I didn't know. Smiling at her over breakfast. Helping her finalize the guest list. Listening to her go on about flower arrangements and place cards and whether her cousin Claire should sit with family or friends. She was radiant. Calm. Focused. Like nothing was wrong. Like she wasn't hiding something rotten under her perfect skin. I watched her carefully. Not for signs of guilt, she was too practiced for that. No, I watched for control. For the way she tried to steer every moment. Keep the wedding machine running. Keep me on script. The thing about betrayal is, once you know it's there, everything feels fake. Every kiss. Every smile. Every whispered, "I love you." All of it curdled in my gut. The worst part? She didn't regret it. Not really. If Austin hadn't said anything, she would have walked down that aisle like nothing happened. I wanted her to feel what I felt, the acid in my chest, the weight behind my ribs. But not through yelling. Not through some explosive fight. That would be too easy. So I waited. I let her plan the wedding. I let her feel safe. And 3 days before the ceremony, I gave her exactly what she deserved. It was the rehearsal dinner. Candlelight. Champagne. Her mother in pearls, her father in a blazer that didn't quite fit. My brother was cracking jokes. Paige looked stunning, white dress, soft curls, fake warmth in her eyes. Everyone was relaxed. Tipsy. The whole room was wrapped in this thick layer of almost there. So close to the finish line. So close to perfect. When they asked if I wanted to say a few words, I stood up slowly. Glass in hand. Smile on my face. "I just want to say thank you," I began. "To everyone who came here tonight. To our families. To our friends. And especially to Paige, my fiancée." She smiled. Blushed a little. "I remember when we first met," I continued. "I told my roommate back in college, Austin, that I thought she might be the one. Crazy, right? I hadn't even kissed her yet. But I just knew." A few people chuckled. Paige froze, just slightly. I lost touch with Austin over the years. Life got busy. But as fate would have it, we recently reconnected. Funny story, actually. She was pale now. Her hand on her wine glass tightened. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. "He's a dancer now. Like, professionally. He performed at Paige's bachelorette party." Neither of them knew the connection at the time. Silence. And after the show, they spent the night together. Twice, actually. A few gasps. Her sister's fork dropped to her plate. Her dad looked like he'd just swallowed glass. Paige opened her mouth, but I raised a hand. "No need to deny it. He told me." She didn't. My voice was calm. Too calm. Measured, like I'd rehearsed it, because I had. Every word. "I just wanted you all to know before the big day. It didn't feel right walking into a marriage based on lies. But I figured if she could perform for him, she could hear the truth in front of everyone." I turned to her. Finally looked her in the eye. "You lied to me. You used me. And you thought you'd get away with it." Then I raised my glass. To honesty. The kind that shows up, even when it's too late. And I walked out. I didn't look back. Not when I walked out of the restaurant. Not when I heard her calling my name behind me. Not even when her mother tried to follow me into the parking lot, heels clicking too fast, voice full of apologies that weren't hers to give. I just got in the car and drove. I don't remember the road. Just the silence. The kind that hums louder than music ever could. People say revenge is messy. And maybe they're right. Maybe if I'd smashed a plate or screamed in her face, it would have felt like chaos. But this? This was clean. Sharp. Like cutting a cord and watching something float away, something you used to love. Or thought you did. She tried to call me. Texted. Left voicemails. The first few were angry. Then came the begging. The justifications. The late night, can we talk, messages. I didn't respond. There was nothing left to say. The wedding, of course, was off. The venue deposit was gone. Her parents were embarrassed. Mine were, quiet. Supportive, but distant, like they weren't sure how to handle a son who detonated his own engagement in front of 50 people. I moved out of our place a week later. Took what was mine and left the key on the counter. No note. No explanation. Just space where trust used to live. Austin reached out once after it all. Said he was sorry, again. Said he respected how I handled it. I told him the truth. You didn't ruin anything, man. She did that all on her own. And it was true. He didn't lie to me. She did. Over and over. She looked me in the eye, made promises, talked about forever, while carrying secrets in her mouth like broken glass. Sometimes I wonder if she ever regrets it. If she lies awake at night thinking about the look on my face. The way I stood up in front of everyone and exposed her like a magician flipping the final card. But then I remember something. I'm not her problem anymore. She has to live with what she did. Me. I sleep just fine.